and then I can share it.
And we are live. All right. I just give like a few minutes and let someone else come on through for a minute.
I don't see the link for the live.
On my Facebook page, do you see a notification where it says Eunice is gone live?
Let me see. There it is.
You found it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Page.
Okay. So we are live. All right. Hi, my name is Eunice White. I'm the hostess of An Interview With. And tonight we're interviewing publisher Mikki Styles. We're here tonight to talk about her new line of journals, legacy journals. So we want to first of all thank you so much for being a part of this interview tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for your time. I wanted to tell everybody about this show. So An Interview With is a show that I created. It allows me to interview talented people from all walks of life. So you can be a publisher, you can be a singer, songwriter, music producer, and in this case, a publisher of journals. We get to shine a spotlight on you and your great works. And so that's why we have you on board tonight. And I'm just very hopeful that people will be impressed by what you're doing and can purchase these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journals called legacy journals. I don't know. Hopefully there's a light. My legacy journals. I want to first of all thank our sponsors. Tonight, as always, we have two wonderful sponsors. I'm going to put the banner put the notification in the banner. Let's see here. Let's see. Show. There we go. Our first sponsor is untappedmusicradio.airtime.pro and untappedtalentrecords.com. So untappedtalentrecords.com is an organization that you can log on to, especially if you are an entertainer and you're looking for representation, you're looking for beats, you're looking for management. You can log on to untappedtalentrecords.com and get with the Hatchets. That's both GL, DJ Get Loose, and Terry Hatchett, Frank and Terry Hatchett, for your studio needs. All right, and then the music radio portion of their organization is an internet radio station that airs every day from 8 until 8 at night, if I'm not mistaken. All genres of music, talk radio. It's just wonderful. And they are available for your listening pleasure. So we always want to be grateful for Untapped musicradio.airtime.pro and untappedtalentrecords.com. The other sponsor we have tonight is, let's see, where are we? AIM. AIM Culture Collective. So it's Armstrong International Media. And it's an organization that is run by April J. Armstrong. She is responsible for most of the graphics that you see with advertisement, graphic arts and graphic designs, and so much more. If you visit her Facebook page, the group page, www.facebook.com /AIM Culture Collective. You can get to know more about what she have to offer, and she'll let you know later on in the show. So just want to say thank you to our sponsors for definitely supporting an interview with. So I want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you for taking the time out to join us for this interview. Again, it's an interview you don't want to miss. And so with that being said, we're going to turn it over to Miss Mikki Styles. So are we saying Mikki Styles the whole interview, or what are we doing?
Well, I mean, you can call me Mikki, or you know me as Michelle.
Yes,
Michelle is fine as well. Mikki is my pen name. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Michelle is someone that I've met years ago. Years ago, we shared the same high school, and just as sweet as she was back then, she seems to be super sweet today. So I'm really happy to be able to collaborate with you on this interview. So it's good to have you on board. So just to give you a little bit of background about Michelle, she is a newly published author whose works can be found on Amazon.com under the pen name Mikki Styles, and I'm going to put that banner up really quickly. All right. So newly published, Michelle, that's great.
That's right.
You have a nice line of journals. So guys, while we're talking, if you want to pull up her page, again, it's Mikki Styles and she's on Amazon. She, raised in, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You attended East Carolina University. And I guess when you're not publishing, you are a recruiter, senior technical recruiter for a software company out of DMV area. So what I want to do, I'm reminded of this question I asked a gentleman last week. I interviewed a gentleman who has a book called Open Wounds and is dedicated to men and young males who, battle creating a legacy, let's just say out of brokenness. And towards the end of his book, he, which I thought was very interesting, I think the title to the last chapter in his book is called Your Legacy. And he asked questions. If you were to leave this earth today, what would people say about you? What is your legacy? What is your plan to build your legacy? Who would you like to leave it to and why? And so with that being said, because we're talking about legacy journals, I would love for you to jump in from there and just tell us how these journals were birthed and what we should look forward to once we get our copies, because I love my copies.
Sure. So let me just say that I've always loved writing. I've been a writer for life. And however, as you pointed out, I've been a technical recruiter for several years, and I'm passionate about that. However, I'm also passionate about writing. I'm passionate about stories. When I was little, I mean, lots of my mannerisms, my morals, everything comes from stories that I was told by my mom. So, I value stories. And it just so happens that at this point in my life, I've suffered a lot of loss, or what I feel is a lot of loss. I think we've all suffered loss. And I'm about to turn 56.
Okay,
but
nice.
Within the past several years, I've lost a number of people. I've lost, a couple of best friends. I lost an aunt. I've lost one of my favorite cousins, and I lost my son back in 2016. The next year, I lost my father. And I think, when you go through loss, especially the loss of a child, one of the things that is, it's front and center is your morality, your mortality. You're not going to be here forever. You think of things, I think of things that, well, I wish I had this, or I wish I would have held on to that, because, you just don't know. In addition to that, as I said, I love stories. I've been planning probably for my entire life to write a book one day because I tell a lot of stories. My kids love my stories. And so, just to capture that so that they would have it. And so in this case, my daughter actually gave me what you can consider a legacy journal. It was a prompted journal. And for me, it was just a bit overwhelming. And so I decided I would create my own and make it all about, legacy. There's a section in there where you're able to record some ancestry information. If you ask a lot of people, well, who was your great great grandfather and who was his
Mhm.
father? People don't know. And
Yeah.
so it's fine that you're walking around, you don't know, but it'd be great to have that information captured somewhere, not just for you, but, for your children, for your
Mhm.
children's children, and so on and so forth. So with this book, and I've done some other journals, I'm most passionate about this because I think it
Yeah.
serves a real purpose.
Mhm.
Um, I can tell you a short story about
Okay.
when I was at East Carolina University. During my freshman year, I took a folklore class. And
Mhm.
so, how you choose the easy electives, this is something I'll get credit for it and I'll go on. I loved that class. It was just so interesting. One of the assignments that we had was to interview our grandparents. And so I interviewed my maternal grandfather and my paternal and no, my maternal grandfather and my maternal grandmother. In any case, I recorded it on paper, wrote a story, put it on floppy disk, if you remember those, and
Mhm.
I also recorded it on cassette tape. I had such valuable information in
Mhm.
that story. And over the years, at some point, left it at my mom's, and so now it's lost. And so I still remember a little bit, but if only I can remember all of the information I captured. And it was exactly the type of information that's
That's
captured,
wonderful.
that will be captured in this book.
Okay.
So it's just valuable. Another thing that I'm really passionate about is Alzheimer's. My mother
Mhm.
was diagnosed back in 2014,
Mhm.
and I mean, it's a really sad thing to watch because you literally watch your parent or your loved one sort of drift away.
Wow.
Each day, just a little bit more is gone. And of course, it's one of those diseases that affects your memory. And so if you are able, if you do have, relatives or a significant other or a loved one who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, please have them complete one of these books because the
Mhm.
information is just so valuable. You don't know how valuable
Mhm.
until they're gone. And so you definitely want to, go ahead and get it done. People in my age group, these books are great for you as well. You got a lot life to live. However, you've also already established a legacy.
Right.
If you're in your mid 50s and above, or even your 40s, you've lived plenty of life, and there are people who love and care about you who want to hear your stories.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's great. And I was just sitting here thinking when you mentioned that, I remember, and I never thought about it. I wish I had. I used to always sit at the feet of my great grandmother. As I always say, sitting at her wisdom, and we
Hmm.
could talk for hours. Like, I remember when we would come visit North Carolina. I used to live in New York at first, and then we moved to North Carolina. And then when I got down here and started getting really close to my great grandmother, I mean, I was like this with her. I could just sit there and talk with her for hours. All I wanted to know was, how she grew up, and I would find out things like her father was born a slave, stuff like that.
Oh,
He had
wow.
two whole families by the time he was born. I mean, I'm sorry, born free. He was born a slave, but eventually became free. But while as a slave, he had already had one family, and then by the time he came out of slavery, mind you, this is my great grandmother said she had to be about a good 6 years old, maybe when he passed or
Hmm.
something. And I was
Hmm.
like, "Your father was a slave?" I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And so, just learning all about him and how she spoke so sweetly about her mother. I never
Hmm.
seen a woman so older like that, and she spoke with such regard about her mother. It was just like watching her turn into a little girl for a second, and just to see that, I wish I had an opportunity to have recorded that. I wish I had thought,
Exactly.
get
Hmm.
the cassette because that is something. And then she shared a lot of folklore,
Hmm.
crazy
Hmm.
stories. I'm like, man, that didn't happen. That happened for real. And she said, yes. I'm like, okay, you
Well,
know,
it was a different time because
yeah.
I was sharing with my daughter when I interviewed my grandmother. She would use words, and I would have to say, well, what is that? One of them was double dry. And so she was telling me about all these remedies that they used,
Oh,
basically in her day. And she was like, so, you just get a double dry. And I'm like, well, what's a double dry? And she was like, a Coca-Cola. And so, that was just another word for it.
mm,
Um, but different types of plants and herbs and things of
Mm-hmm.
that sort. That's what they used, because back then a lot of people didn't go to the doctor, especially African
Mm-hmm.
American people.
Right.
Didn't go to the doctor, so we had our own remedies, our own cures, our own,
Mm-hmm.
some of it I would say was superstitions and things of
Yeah,
that sort. And
definitely a
I
lot
just
of
find
that.
that, I find those things so interesting. And
Yeah.
so, even though we're thinking, well, this is what we do and nothing's really that interesting about what we do right now, go 2 generations up. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people will be amazed. I mean, there are things that I've done, using a rotary dial telephone.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids are like, y'all, that's
Like,
what
what's
you
that?
use? And so what did you do if you were out and you needed to get in contact with, you find a phone booth. And so, that, you remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
But they don't. And so all of the things that you're doing and what you're going through right now will be of interest, not just to your
Mm-hmm.
children, but to your children's children.
Yeah.
So I think most of the people who have gotten the journals, especially now, they're really selling now, because
Mm-hmm.
we're right here at the holidays. They make great stocking
They
stuffers.
really do. I absolutely love this. You want to go over some of the prompts that might be fun to talk about that you
Sure.
have in your book?
Sure. So with this book, I decided in the front, the first page, you're able to present it to someone, and I don't know if you can see it there. It looks sort of white. Oh, there
I
it
see
is.
it now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, there's a heart, and so you can, write something for your loved one. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if you're giving it to your mom, just some kind words.
Mm-hmm.
First, the basics. It talks about, your birth, where were you born, what year were you born, what hospital. You can put in all of that information. It also talks about your family. How many siblings do you have? Describe them. What types of things did you do as a child? There's actually a family tree in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So, just lots of good information to capture.
Oh, that's sweet.
And, you have it all neatly here in the book, to
Mm-hmm.
preserve as long as this book will last, which is, of course, for a long time. Some of the sections that I like, and I'll just sort of go through some others. So it talks about childhood, goes into adolescence. Did you go to
Mm-hmm.
prom? Did you go to dances? Who were your hanging buddies? What kind of things did you do? Some things about you personally, as far as, your height, describe yourself. What do you really like about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite sections is the advice section, because I don't know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
that is
giving
cool.
advice. I have grown kids. I'm still giving advice. It never goes away. So you're able to actually record your advice, whether it's about relationships, life,
Mm-hmm.
jobs, entrepreneurship, just lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another section that I like is Have You Ever? And it's just like
Nope.
some quick questions. Have you ever ridden a horse? Have you ever been suspended from school? Have you, things of that sort. And you're able to, tell a little story about each one if you choose.
Mm-hmm.
There's a section where you're able to tell, what you're grateful for. And there are, a number of prompts for that. And then at the end of the book, there's space to actually write letters to people that you love.
Yeah,
And of
that is
course,
a
that's
sweet.
cool.
Yeah, this makes a wonderful gift. It really does. I was thinking about the advice part, and I remember going back to my great grandmother again. She used to always say, "Trust in the Lord, Pete." So my nickname is Peaches,
Mhm.
and so, but my
I remember
nickname
that.
to, I know, right? But my nickname to that what is Pete. So it's weird. So they're like, "Trust in the Lord, Pete," and I'm like, "Trusting who?" Because I'm this little fast-minded somebody from New
Mhm.
York, and I'm talking about, what are you talking about? Trusting who? Who is that? But as time went on, and she and I began to bond more, I began to understand where she was coming from,
Mhm.
and she showed me not necessarily the religious side, so much more the spiritual side of myself. And I said, okay, I get it now. But it's really interesting. Again, if I had an opportunity, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would find some kind of way to write it down,
Mhm.
record it,
And
something.
capture that information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't get that back. And she shared some fun things with me, and then she shared some shocking information with respect to our family that I didn't know. That I was like,
Mhm.
oh wow. I just didn't know. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's interesting. And so it's all of that stuff is really it's relevant today to my family, because at least now we can kind of understand our history. And like you
Of
said
course.
earlier, many of people don't take the time to know where they come from, you know. And I
Hmm.
think it's important. So a book like this to me is um, very nice to have because it really helps you to try to um, know where you come from. I mean, you know,
Exactly. Know where you come from, know what those patterns are, because I
yeah,
do believe, like with each generation within families, there's so many patterns.
big
And
time.
unless you talk or you hear those stories, you don't even know it.
Mm-mm.
It's like there's so many things I did at 20 that my mother did, that her
Mm-hmm.
mother did before her. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's interesting. So, just capturing what you're able to capture while
Yeah.
people are still here, they still have their memories. And
Mm-hmm.
as I said, even if, they're a bit compromised as far as memory, and they've been diagnosed with whether it's, Alzheimer's, or they have a little dementia going on,
Mm-hmm.
even with that, I found with my mother one day, she may be in a space where she's like 12, and she's
Mm-hmm.
asking, where's her brother, or where's her mom, or where's her dad. She's actually in that space, and so I can ask questions. She'll answer them like it was yesterday, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those memories that we think are gone, they're still there. And so,
Wow.
it's possible that you could capture some really valuable information. You don't have to have, your mom or your grandmother fill out you can fill it out for them. Ask them the
Yeah.
questions, because a lot of people are like, well, well, she really doesn't write. It's okay. She talks, you write. And
Yeah.
whether you fill out the entire book, every single page, or whether, you just sort of pick and choose and jump around, whatever you put in here is going to be valuable.
Well, I like how you did say that this was birthed out of, I'm not going to say I like that you said this, but I understand, and my heart goes out to you that this whole the Legacy Journal was birthed out of pain, like you said, out of loss. And so you journal yourself first before you decided to put the journals together. Is that right?
Yes, and I journal like everywhere. Some of it is electronic on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is notebooks. I've always been a writer. However, after I lost my son, and I was getting therapy, and my therapist said, well, do you write? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, write it all down, capture
Mm-hmm.
everything that you're feeling, write it down. And at that point, I still was writing a little bit, but I had sort of gotten away from it, just
Mm-hmm.
the all the things that you're doing in life. You can't do everything at every moment, right?
Right.
So that was just
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I had sort of let go for several years, and so
Mm-hmm.
I got back into it, and
Yeah.
it was therapeutic. Putting this book together was therapeutic.
Oh, I bet.
Discussing it with family members is therapeutic, because the questions in here, we can have full conversations about a single question in here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's.
I think it's very interesting. So we'll take a quick little break. If anybody out there have questions for Michelle, also known as Mikki Styles, please put your questions in the comments, please. And again, you can find her book, her whole line of journals. This is just one set, but I'll let you tell us about the journals in a second. The other ones that you also have as well. And I wanted to ask you about a baby book. Would you have a little? Okay, good.
You mean the I think you saw a
Yeah.
sketchbook or something.
You know when someone's having a baby, and that was one of my favorite gifts to give any new mom and dad was a
Mhm.
baby book, and it was very similar to this. And you're just capturing all the new moments prior to the baby
Right.
being born, and maybe
Mhm.
up until like the first 5 years or something like that. I don't know why, but I love giving books like that or giving
It
gifts
is
like
so
that to
interesting
people.
that you say that, because I have one. It's ready. I have the manuscript, the interior, it's ready. And
So
I'm just going
cool.
through the cover and trying to find, because I have a daughter who's expecting.
Hmm.
And we found this out recently. So, we're just looking at covers, and I'm trying to find something she likes. So I will have
Hmm.
something up soon.
Oh, that
We'll
is
do that
sweet.
soon.
Yeah, I love giving away those books. And when I had all four of mine, I had
I
like
have
at
four
one
too.
point at least two or three books per kid. And
Hmm.
so I filled them up, or I gave one to like another like a mother or somebody so she would have her own,
Hmm.
version of it or whatever. But they make remarkable gifts as well. It's so sweet.
They really do.
So yeah, they're very sweet. But again, people, if you have any questions for Michelle, please put the comments in the chat. Let me find where I can. Hold on one second. Let's see here. So Michelle, I'm learning to multitask. It's hard. It can be hard sometimes. Um, let's see here. And I'll put a little bit of music on while we are waiting. Okay. So, any questions you have for Michelle, please place them in the chat. And I am looking for, let's see. All right. All right. So, let's see. All right. Let's see how to open this up. All right. Okay. So, really quick, we'll go over one of our sponsors again. If you are an artist and you're looking for beats, if you're looking for representation and management, if you're looking just to rent out a recording studio, please get with Untapped Talent Music. I'm sorry, untappedtalentrecords.com, where you can meet the Hatchets, Frank and Terry, and they will be able to hook you up with that. And if for your listening pleasure, if you love good music or good talk radio, they have a wonderful internet radio station that's worldwide. And when I say global, it's global. So much so that people over in the UK, people down in Brazil, have access to listen to the radio station. It's every day rather, from 8 a.m. to as late as 8 p.m. Great music content. You guys will love it. And that's Untapped Music Radio Airtime Pro. I think I said that right. So let me put it in the banner. So, yeah. All right. Let's find it. Put it here. Okay. All right. And I do have a couple of questions for you, Michelle.
Sure.
So one is from, hold on. Where'd it go? Here we go. Hello to everybody once again for signing on board, coming on board to view. Again, we're talking with Mikki Styles to discuss her line of journals, particularly legacy journals, and the importance of why we should all have a legacy journal. All right. Someone was asking, let's see, I just saw it. One of our classmates, Aretha, she says, how many books again? How many books do you, line of books do you have?
Right now, I believe there are 10 or 11 that are on Amazon.
Okay, gotcha.
However, some of those I have like a Bossy line. The
Yeah.
Bossy collection, if you haven't seen those. And those are really just journals. But I mean, if you're a woman like I am, you like pretty things.
Mm-hmm.
I like things, sassy things, that type of thing. But they're journals with some very interesting covers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fall line. I also have some that are like these cool animal print, and they're just journals. I also have some children's books, mostly sketchbooks and notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find most of those at my author page.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a link in that post where you are right now, Aretha.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let me put that back up there really quickly. And I have, let's see here, where are we? This is where I need to keep my glasses on. Okay, so we have the Amazon page. Well, I should call them readers.
Yeah, gotta have those readers.
Yeah, I gotta have them. Okay, so on the YouTube side, Nikkei, hi Nikkei, she said, I wish I had recorded my grandparents telling me about their lives. I'm telling you, that's priceless, right? I agree, Nikkei. I'm telling you, it's priceless. Like I'm literally thinking back when I was in high school, and I spent so much time with my great grandma. She was just so fun. She was so sweet, the sweetest lady in the world. And to hear her tell stories about her childhood, and it was just crazy. She had been married 3 times, outlived all 3 husbands. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right? Yeah, she outlived all 3 of her husbands.
It needs to be written.
Yeah, she
But
outlived
you
all
know,
three husbands.
sometimes one of the things that you can do, because I feel the same way, especially about my grandmother on my dad's side,
Hmm.
because she had so many stories and those remedies and all of that. But what I'm
Yeah.
planning to do is get with one of my aunts
Okay.
and complete a book on her behalf.
Hmm.
Because oftentimes the children are able to complete it on their mother's behalf or
Hmm.
their
Hmm.
father's behalf, because they have more intimate knowledge of
Hmm.
um, their life. So
That's true too. Jasmine Define, she asked, what's the price range for your journals?
well, the paperbacks are $7.99, just $7.99,
Hmm.
and you can get this one in the hard copy. I also have a blue copy.
Yeah.
As you see, this one is pink with flowers. I'm trying to see which way can I
Hmm.
put it. It's pink with flowers. And so I sort of call this the female version, but there's a male version as well. And you can
Okay.
find it on my Facebook page, Mikki Styles, or you can find it on the author's page. And they're hard book hard covers. Um, those are $14.99 each.
Okay. Now we have, you said, a version dedicated to both men and women. So what do the men have to look forward to in their version?
It's basically the same information.
Hmm.
There may be a couple of questions that might be a little different, but it's the same concept. Just because, I like pretty stuff, and, a lot of us women do. And so I
Hmm.
created this one first. And
Okay.
then at the same time, men have legacies that need to be told as well, but
Hmm.
I don't want to do it in a pink book.
Right.
So
I get
that's
it.
the purpose for that. Now, I do, because I'm so focused on legacy journals, memory journals, this type of thing right now. I am coming out with some additional product lines that'll be specifically for grandfather,
Oh,
grand,
nice. Okay.
that type of thing. That'll be specifically for someone
Hmm.
who has been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. I'm
Yeah.
looking to hopefully do some things with some of the Alzheimer's associations and organizations, and some of the senior
Hmm.
organizations and facilities here in the area.
Okay. Which is a good idea. I think that's awesome. I think it's a great tool to have to try to not only get through the fact that you're dealing with someone with that particular condition, but I bet it's, great to just try to capture those memories.
Yeah, whatever you
Um,
capture, it's golden. And as a
mhm,
gift, once it is completed, once we complete these books with our legacy
mhm,
information, and I'm working on that right now,
mhm.
and then you gift it to your child, it's just the best gift ever. I mean,
Wow.
what gift could you give your child that's better than, your legacy, your
Mhm.
memories, all of that? So it's a
Yeah, and
great.
the wealth of information, like, I mean, it's gonna be very fascinating for many of them because they're gonna be like, oh my God, I would have never thought that we came from this, or we
Right.
used to do that, or blah blah blah. I just think it's awesome. I have someone else in here who says, Lisa Battle says, very good idea. Um,
Thanks, Lisa.
Excellent idea again from the K. Much needed information, much needed material. Chantel Thompson and X for Life 96. Hi, Michelle. What books inspired you?
What book inspired
What
me?
books inspired you? Hmm.
I don't know that if we're talking about the legacy journals, I don't know if there's a specific book that inspired me as much as I said, the life experience of coming from a long line of women who
Hmm.
told stories,
Hmm.
and not having captured those stories is what I mean. I see the need. I saw the need, and so that's where I created this book.
Okay. Terry Hatchett over in the Facebook land. Hi, Terry. She asked, when you first started writing, was it hard to find a good editor?
Um, no, not at all. I know lots of and have known lots of people who have published books, whether
Hmm.
on Amazon or other places. So no.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I'm trying not to miss the questions. Hold on. Lots of great feedback in terms of the product itself. It's really a great product. Um, let's see. Okay, and let's see. Aretha says she's definitely supporting, especially family journals. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break again. This time we're going to go to our second sponsor, April J. Armstrong of AIM, Armstrong International Media, really quickly. If you guys have any other questions for Michelle, please feel free to ask really quickly. And I'm going to share our next sponsor. So one moment, please. Let's see. I'm always on the wrong tab. Always on the wrong tab. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, start this over. Culture for the collective. Okay. Armstrong International Media, or AIM, for the Culture for the Collective, is the global premier cultural arts network where we hold all the power. A social media and marketing company, we also offer services in voiceover, graphic design, commercial development, and podcast production. Start your day speaking out loud and whisper into the evening. Conversations on relationships for catch a one-man, one-woman feature. Heal through testimony and hope. AIM is where you can find affordable packages for you to invest in your brand or your business. Follow, subscribe, like, share, and AIM for the culture, for the collective. All right. Thank you again, April J. Armstrong, for sponsoring this segment of the show. All right. So we are back. I'm just going to check again some questions, see if we have any other questions for you really fast. And you mentioned the Bossy, you said
Journal.
Bossy Journals?
Mhm. It's like the Bossy collection.
Okay.
At some point, someone said that I was bossy, and this happened probably 20 years ago, and I just wear it. I own it. I can be bossy. I'm a great leader, and for some people, that comes across as bossy.
Mhm.
When you want things done a certain way, and so just being playful. I call it the Bossy collection. Own
Now,
it.
do they have prompts? Do the journals have prompts as well? Or
No,
oh,
no,
okay,
those books are really for the cover, for
okay,
the look of the journals. So they're
okay.
really notebooks.
Wow. Okay, not bad, not bad. Well, I was hoping to pull up. Let's see here. I think that was it then. Okay. No, I thought I had it up. I think again, you have a very fantastic line. And everybody, once again, if you want to know where to purchase her books, you go to her Amazon store. I have the address in the banner, and when you click on, you're going to see a very beautiful page filled with beautiful journals. Again, from my legacy all the way down to what she have to offer children, as you had stated earlier. And then I'm kind of like doing the baby books and waiting for you to put those up there one day. And
They're
I have
coming.
to get a bossy journal.
Hmm.
Have to get me a bossy journal. Wow. Is there anything else you want us to know about your any upcoming work you have? I know you mentioned that you have certain things, but is there anything else that we need to look forward to?
Well, I think I mentioned just about everything.
Mhm,
I am getting bulk orders of the books,
mhm.
so that I can offer it to some associations and organizations and do some work with them. So if someone's planning, for example, a family reunion, um, these are great gifts.
Okay. Hmm.
You can get some. You get them in bulk. Then we can arrange a discount. I mean, they're
Hmm.
already just $7.99, per book, but we can arrange a discount. But I just think it's a great way to capture precious memories of the
Hmm.
people you love. So
Hmm. Okay, not bad. And I think this is again, like you say, like it states here on the cover, a novel gift for you today, a priceless treasure for your loved ones tomorrow, and that's absolutely true.
exactly.
And then what I love is a lot of people love Maya Angelou, that's for sure. And you have a quote by her: "If you're going to live, leave a legacy, make a mark on the world that can't be erased." And that is so true.
Yeah. And that
That is
really sums this book up perfectly. Actually, there are some other fantastic quotes. With each
mm-hmm.
section, there are different quotes, and I love Maya Angelou.
Yeah, yeah. Well, not bad. Well, I'm definitely going to enjoy my book. I'm going to take time to answer some stuff, and I'm going to fill it out because I can write this whole book up for sure. And then see which one of my kids are going to be like, okay, I'll read it.
Mhm.
So
All
you
of
might
them will
learn
read it.
something new. Yeah, you might learn something. You never know. Yeah, I like this. Letters to my loves. I think that's really sweet. Really sweet.
Yeah,
And
don't forget those recipes.
okay, so with the recipe part.
Get those
um,
recipes in there.
So here's the part for me with respect to recipes. Remember, I was saying I'm not really a cook.
Mhm.
I have my things. I have my different dishes I'm good at, and that's it. But I could use that section because we talk about different things and remedies from back in the day.
Mhm.
And so a remedy for an earache, or I just
Oh,
come up with the recipe or whatever, and I'll just write
oh,
that in. I think I'm gonna
yeah.
use that section for that because
Okay.
yeah, because I mean we're still going back to the many of us are going back to the olden days where I remember my great grandmother used to have a sage tree bush in the backyard, and she used to
Mhm.
make us drink tea. Like, ugh,
Mhm.
but for whatever reason, it got rid of whatever ails
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and little things like that. If I can remember what she would have us go out, and I mean she would boil stuff, and we would, like I said, I had some kind of cold or tummy ache or whatever, she
Mhm.
would give that to us to drink, and we would be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. And she had all kinds of different, she had a big garden in the backyard, but she had a bunch of different bushes, and some bushes you couldn't get near to because of
Mhm.
like thorns and that kind of thing,
Yeah,
and others, yeah. So I mean, I think I would probably, for me, I would use that section for that because that was
that's a
super
great
helpful.
idea.
Yeah, my kids are always saying, "Mom, what can I use for so and so and so? How can I get rid of this on my face?" I'm like, "Yeah, girl, all you gotta do is get some so and so and mix it up and put it up there. The next thing you know,
Mhm.
it's gone." How
That's
you know
right.
that? I said, "Shoot, my grandma taught me that stuff when I was a kid
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever."
a lot of the remedies and medicines that we use now,
Yeah,
that's where it came from.
that's where it
That's
came
what those,
from.
medications in some cases are actually made of. So yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of that stuff
it
works.
started from somewhere, and that's for sure. And I'm like,
My
"Oh
grandmother
man,
had a remedy for everything.
thank
Something
you."
about putting an egg in a sock and hang it in a
Mhm,
doorway, and I'm not sure
mhm.
what it did, but
Me either. Me neither.
I don't know what it did, but it was something. But I mean, that was the majority of the conversation that I had with her in writing that paper was about
Mhm.
remedies. And
Yeah.
so
See.
just
Yeah.
really interesting information gone.
Yeah.
Just gone.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think it would be just great to be able to capture that in the journal as well. So that's what I'll be using my recipe section for.
Okay.
I'll be happy to share my
That
recipes with
works.
you if you like.
That
Oh
certainly
goodness.
works.
Well, everybody, let's see. Whoa. Let me see. Somebody else has another comment real quick, I think. Uh, Oh, okay, so Mikay says she saved your Amazon page. She's gonna try to pull one up for her mom. She's thinking about buying one for her mother and herself. I think you're gonna love it, Nikay. I think you're
Mhm.
gonna love it because it's really great. As we're talking about just capturing memories. I think you're gonna have fun with it. You and your mom are both gonna have fun. It's just the whole thing. It brings together like family togetherness. I mean, when you're sitting there
Exactly.
and you're filling out a book like this, possibly together, like at a reunion
Right.
or
That's one of the
something,
tips in the book is
that's
to
really
fill it
cool.
out with someone else. And I mean, just
Yeah.
really have fun with the
Yeah,
questions.
and what conversations are going to come from this? It's going to be really amazing, I think. So I like that. So I'm going to go back over to YouTube. I mean, I'm sorry, the Facebook side really fast and see if we have any other questions. And um, I think I caught everybody's question on that side for you. But we do know how to find the books. And um, did you say E? I can't read that. I need some glasses. I'm sorry, guys. Francis, what were you saying? Did you say E? I was trying to read your comment.
I think I said
Uh,
something about facilities, and she said she'd like to help me work with me on that, and I'd be
oh,
delighted
okay.
to work with her on that. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
definitely get in touch with her.
Oh, yes, please do. Yeah, you'll. I think you guys will be able to collaborate on some fun stuff. So that'd be great.
Yes.
Yep. And look, we're all high school classmates. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Who would think,
Good
right?
old Southwest.
Yep. Stephen White says really great concept and a great gift. So guys, please support Mikki Styles. Again, you can visit her Amazon.com page. I have the address in the banner, and support her and get a couple of legacy journals. Again, she has them for both men and women and for children. And if you continue to come back to her page, she'll be updating with even more. The lighting is what I'm trying to, so you can see it. But anyway, she'll have more merch. She has a lot of merchandise up there, as I'm saying. But check back often because she's going to be coming up with some more. Some more journals. But this is a fantastic journal, and I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us regarding your legacy journal. When I saw the invitation to your page on Facebook, and it said legacy journal, and I'm a journal head. I love journals too. I used to have a stack of journals. I mean, I was always buying journals, not necessarily with prompts, but like you said, as notebooks.
Right.
And I used to remember just writing my heart out about all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things, Now I have a lot of journals that I like to write, and they have more to do with most like manifesting, more positive thinking kind of stuff like that. So I like journals for that purpose and that use as well.
That 369 method? Got one
right
right
get
there?
Out of here. Where you get that from? Oh my God! I want that one.
I actually had not. I just got my copy.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow!
Yeah, have a look because when you go to look at the books, you're able to look and see what's inside. But this this is really, I would say, for a beginner.
Okay.
But it explains what that 369 method is, law of attraction. So it goes through all of that. And then, of course, it has the space in there for.
Okay. I must have missed that one on your page.
On it.
Oh, wow. So not bad. Oh, so Lisa Battle says, thank you both. Great interview, fellow Southwest Cougars. Hey. So I can't wait to get the manifestation journal. I'm definitely going to get that next. I don't know how I missed that one
because it just went up and it just came out.
Oh,
I like to order the books so I can check them out first before I do marketing or anything. But it just so happens I had it sitting right here, and you said it, so there it is.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, when you're not publishing, you're not this super duper recruiter for technical company. Yep. What is it called? Oh. Okay, there we go.
Technical recruiter for a software company. Yeah.
What do you do and what do you like to do?
I am the outdoorsy girl. I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do have some travel groups born out of Facebook. And so normally we do a lot of traveling. Of course, for the last couple of years, we can't really do anything or haven't been able to because of COVID. So that's given me time to write more. So I love travel and I love the outdoors. I like fishing, hiking, camping, anything outdoors. I'm with it. I'm ready.
Oh, wow. So and also, and it's a great place to be in nature and journal as well. It's a great place to be, out in the, like you said, on the water or just,
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Love all of that.
Oh, wow. Well, Michelle, thank you so much. Wait a minute. Somebody else says, Jasmine defines it. I love having prompts because it makes it easy to write regularly without getting writer's block. And that's true too. Yeah, let something just kind of push you along because I guess you can get writer's block. From time to time. I know there have been days where I might have a page and it might just have a sentence on it because I just didn't have, a whole lot to talk about, but I just dated and write what I had to write and put my little signature up there and then I move on to the next day.
Exactly. But, like I said, I've started my life story so many times and, it's because I'm thinking about a certain thing I want to write about. So I write about that and then it's like, okay, what next? And then you get further and further away. So I have all these bits and pieces. I could probably fill that book with the bits and pieces I have.
Yeah.
So you have to put it together. So it is, the guides, the prompts, they do really help.
They do help. Yep. Well, all right. Well, we're going to thank you again for coming through and sharing with us your line of journals. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I'm just like, now I see the 369. I got to get that one. I was like, wait a minute, where was that one? Because I wanted that one too.
Well, it is up there now. So
yeah. Okay. I have to check it out. And you said that's filled with prompts as well, right? prompts
It
in that
has
journal, or
it has some prompts and directions
okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's not bad. I like that. I like that. So you're gonna have eventually host a show where you get to talk about your journals and have a what do you call it, a class? You know, we all get our journals and sit down and just just start writing in our journals together. I think it'll be kind of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you got to come back too whenever you get
Yeah.
more merchandise. Come back through and we can talk about it all. This
I
has been really
certainly
great,
will.
but I love this. I love this. I love this journal. So yeah, so everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Thank
We're
you so much
winding
for
down.
having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're
Thank you
definitely
so much.
welcome.
This has been fun.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And again, thank you for our sponsors. We have April J. Armstrong of AIM, Armstrong International Media for being our sponsor, along with Untapped Talent Records. .com and Untapped Talent Radio. Thank you so much for always supporting me. I absolutely thank you guys so much for all of your support. And then again, thank you to everybody for tuning in to learn all about these beautiful legacy journals. You're going to love them. I mean, they're very, very, very nice. I'm very nice. And they're going to make a great gift. So please go by the website, Mikki Styles, so Mikki Styles on Amazon.com. And again, it's legacy journals if you want to pull up. But once you pull up her the legacy journal, you're gonna pull up her store and you get to see what all she has. She's a really nice line of merchandise for journals. So this is great. Michelle.
Thank you.
Very happy for you, definitely.
Thanks. Happy for you as well. You're doing a great thing.
Oh, thank you. Well, guys, we're going to close out, put a little closing out music. And you can tune in every Tuesday. Give me 1 second. Every Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. live on Facebook and live on YouTube. I come on to interview a talented person with something beautiful to offer, like these legacy journals or a book, or talk about their career in music or their music. I'm here to shine a spotlight on you. I want you to reach that untapped talent, and I want the world to know how wonderful your product is. So that's why we do what we do here at An Interview With, and it's every Tuesday. So join me next week at 8 p.m. I was trying to get my little music together, but it's not coming on. That's okay. I'll do a different one. Next week, and we are going to there we go. And we're going to tap into another great creative out there. Also, too, join us tomorrow for the replay, which is going to be on Untapped Music Radio. At about 3:30, I believe, tomorrow is going to be the replay of this broadcast. And again, that's Untapped Music Radio. I can show you that link for those of you who can take the time to listen. You'll hear this again. Untapped Music Radio tomorrow about 3:30 p.m. and you'll hear this broadcast all over again. And you can also reach me on Facebook and also on YouTube for the replays as well. So that's that. Well, thank you, Miss Mikki Styles. I appreciate this opportunity. And we're just going to say hello and goodbye to everybody. We'll see you guys on next week. And Michelle, just hold on a second. We're getting ready to end the broadcast. And that's that. Make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. And thank you so much to everybody who came through. All right. Take care, everybody.